The 1950s was a time of soda fountains, jukeboxes, and department stores that felt like magical kingdoms. Back then, shopping wasn't just about buying things, it was an experience. The stores were more than places to grab what you needed. They were where memories were made, dreams were built, and community was fostered. Sadly, many of those iconic stores have disappeared forever. But today, let's take a trip down memory lane and revisit the beloved shops of the 50s that we'll never forget. Maybe you'll even find yourself walking those aisles again in your mind. Woolworths, the 5 and dime. Woolworths was a cornerstone of every main street in America. Known as the 5 and dime, it sold everything from candy to clothes to household goods. You could spend hours browsing the aisles, then grab a seat at the lunch counter for a grilled cheese sandwich and a soda. Do you remember how thrilling it was to pick out a little toy or treat with your allowance? G.C. Murphy Company. Similar to Woolworths, G.C. Murphy was a dime store filled with affordable treasures. It was the place to go for school supplies, small household items, or just to browse. The store had a charm that made every visit special. And let's not forget the bins of penny candy that called out to every kid walking by. What was your favorite find at G.C. Murphy's? Montgomery Ward, the original catalog store. Known as Monkey Ward by some, Montgomery Ward was a department store ahead of its time. It pioneered catalog shopping, letting families in rural areas order everything from clothes to furniture to farming tools. And in the store itself, you could explore aisles filled with shiny new appliances, tools, and stylish outfits. Do you remember flipping through their catalogs, circling all the things you wanted? By the way, if you're enjoying this trip back to the 50s, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's keep these memories alive together. S.H. Crest & Company, the elegant dime store. Crest stores stood out for their beautiful architecture and wide selection of goods. Shopping at Crest felt a bit more sophisticated, but it still offered the charm of a traditional 5 and dime. From holiday decorations to fabric for sewing, it had something for everyone. Who else remembers marveling at the grand storefronts and displays? Ben Franklin Stores, a community staple. Ben Franklin was a community-centered 5 and dime that felt like an extension of home. It sold crafts, sewing supplies, and toys, making it a go-to spot for families. If you needed a button, a spool of thread, or a model airplane kit, Ben Franklin was the place to go. Do you remember the friendly staff and the comforting small-town feel? A&P, the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company. Before supermarkets took over, A&P was the grocery store of choice for families across the country. Known for its iconic red logo, it sold everything from fresh produce to canned goods. It was also famous for its 8 o'clock coffee, ground fresh right in the store. Do you remember the aroma of coffee filling the aisles? Rexall drugstores. Rexall wasn't just a pharmacy. It was a one-stop shop for health, beauty, and even soda fountain treats. Many of the stores had counters where you could grab a milkshake or a banana split while picking up your prescriptions or toiletries. Do you remember the cheerful blue and orange Rexall sign outside? Grant's, the budget department store. W.T. Grant Company, or simply Grant's, was a department store with a focus on affordability. It sold everything from clothes to toys to home goods, and it was a favorite for families on a budget. Grant's was also one of the first stores to offer layaway plans, making big purchases more accessible. What's the best deal you remember finding at Grant's? E.J. Corvette, the discount pioneer. Corvette was one of the first discount stores, offering big savings on electronics, home appliances, and clothing. It felt modern and futuristic compared to the traditional department stores of the time. Walking into Corvette felt like stepping into a treasure trove of bargains. Did your family ever score a great deal there? Sylvania Electric stores. Tech before its time. Before Best Buy or Circuit City, Sylvania Electric stores were where people went for cutting-edge electronics. From televisions to radios, these stores were the place to see the latest in technology. It was thrilling to walk in and see the newest black and white TV models on display. Do you remember gathering as a family to check out a new television? Spiegel, the stylish mail-order giant. Spiegel was a name synonymous with fashion-forward catalog shopping. The store and its catalogs brought chic clothing, home goods, and even luxury items to families across America. It was like flipping through a magazine filled with dreams. Do you remember circling your favorite items in the Spiegel catalog? H.L. Green Company, the all-in-one variety store. H.L. Green Company was a beloved chain offering everything from clothing to hardware to snacks. Its soda fountains and snack counters made shopping there feel like a mini adventure. Families loved stopping by for everyday essentials and a quick treat. Did you ever grab a hot fudge sundae at one of their counters? The Emporium, department store elegance. The Emporium was a regional department store that brought elegance to everyday shopping. Known for its upscale vibe and beautifully designed window displays, it was a destination for special shopping trips. Do you remember dressing up just to visit the Emporium? McAn Shoes for every occasion. McAn was the go-to shoe store for families in the 1950s. Known for its durability and affordability, it had styles for every member of the family. From patent leather shoes for Sunday best to sturdy Oxfords for school, this store was a household name. Did you ever pick out your first pair of fancy shoes at McAn? Western Auto, the everything store for car owners. Western Auto catered to the car-loving culture of the 50s. It sold car parts, tools, and accessories, as well as household items and even bicycles. It was the ultimate destination for dads looking to tinker and kids dreaming of their first bike. Who else remembers wandering the aisles while your dad searched for car supplies? Howard Clothes, suits, and style for men. Howard Clothes was a men's clothing store known for its affordable yet stylish suits. It was the place to go for young men preparing for their first job interviews or dads getting a new suit for a special occasion. Do you remember helping your dad or older brother pick out a sharp suit at Howard Clothes? The Fair Store, affordable department shopping. The Fair Store was a budget-friendly department store chain that offered clothing, home goods, and toys. It was a little less flashy than bigger department stores, but held its own charm. Families loved its practical approach and fair prices. Do you remember snagging great deals at the Fair Store? Sattler's, a Buffalo icon. For those in Buffalo, Sattler's was the epitome of a hometown department store. Known for its quirky advertising and extensive product range, it offered everything from furniture to groceries. The store was deeply embedded in the local community. Were you lucky enough to experience a visit to Sattler's? Walco, Woolworths' bigger sibling. Walco was an offshoot of Woolworths, offering a larger, more modern shopping experience. With its bigger floor plans, it felt like a department store, but with the charm of a five and dime. Walco became a weekend destination for families. Do you remember the excitement of a trip to Walco? Goodyear service stores, more than tires. While known for tires, Goodyear service stores were also a hub for other auto-related needs. They offered car accessories, maintenance services, and even home appliances. It was a one-stop shop for families trying to keep up with the booming car culture of the 50s. Did your family ever stop by a Goodyear store for something beyond tires? Whitefront, the early discount store. Whitefront was one of the first stores to introduce the concept of a discount warehouse. It offered everything from electronics to furniture at budget-friendly prices. The massive floor plans and wide aisles felt revolutionary at the time. Did you or your family ever take a day trip to explore all the bargains Whitefront had to offer? Mongols, ladies' fashion haven. Mongols was a beloved store for women looking for stylish but affordable clothing. It specialized in elegant dresses and separates that perfectly captured the 50s silhouette. It was a favorite stop for mothers and daughters shopping for special occasions. Do you remember watching your mom pick out the perfect dress at Mongols? E.L. Rice & Company, the Fabric Emporium, E.L. Rice & Co., was a dream for home sewers and crafters, offering endless bolts of fabric, sewing notions, and patterns. In the 50s, when homemade clothes were still the norm, this store was the place to get creative. Who else remembers helping choose fabric for a new dress or curtains? Hess's, the neighborhood department store. Hess's was a smaller, community-focused department store that catered to everyday needs. Known for its friendly service and practical offerings, it was a staple in local shopping districts. It didn't have the flash of big city stores, but its charm was unmatched. Do you remember stopping by Hess's for last-minute essentials? Kittytown, the toy paradise. For kids in the 50s, Kittytown was pure magic. This toy store was packed with everything a child could dream of: tin toys, train sets, dolls, and even the latest hula hoops. Walking into Kittytown felt like stepping into a wonderland. What was the toy you begged your parents for during a visit? Stores like Woolworths, Montgomery Ward, and A&P weren't just places to shop. They were a part of our daily lives and our communities. They were where we found treasures, shared moments, and created memories that still bring a smile to our faces today. What about you? Do you remember shopping at any of these stores? Or maybe there's one we didn't mention that you'd like to share? Let us know in the comments, and let's honor these iconic 50s stores together.